The fifth guy is CM Punk?
What's up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto Live.
This is the WWE Week in Review Setup, episode 282, where we go over Raw, we go over SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style, talking about every backstage segment, every match, all the controversy, all the drama in one video. We're going to start off with Monday Night Raw, so without further ado, let's jump into it. Opening up the show with all of these women. Liv, Raquel, Tiffany, Nia, literally everyone was out there. Liv Morgan said, we didn't come alone, so they brought out Nia, Tiff, and Candice, and then they get interrupted by a bunch of faces, Bianca, Jade, Io, Naomi, and the returning Rhea Ripley, who was beat up in a parking lot on an episode of NXT. They wrote her off of television for a while, but she is back with a Cody Rhodes style of mask. That's why I have her right there. She walks out, means business, says, War Games, and then headbutts the freaking snot out of Liv Morgan, ends in an all-out brawl, and now we know why there's been so many women involved in this one storyline, man. They were building up to War Games, and they nailed it. Bunch of heels versus a bunch of faces, 5-on-5 in 2 rings. It's gonna be insane. I can't wait for it. It ends in a brawl, and the faces looked great, dude. This match is gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. Mixed gender tag team matches are so much fun. Selena Vega and Rey Mysterio of the LWO versus Chad Gable and Ivy Nile of American Made. Match was great. Did anybody else just love this launch from Rey Mysterio to Selena Vega, where Selena Vega did a Hurricane Rana to Chad Gable off the top rope? That was awesome. Easily my favorite moment of the match. In the end, we saw Rey Mysterio hit a 619 on Chad Gable to pick up the victory for his team. After the match, Chad Gable kind of got into it with American Made, who weren't really on ringside. You know, Brutus and Julius Creed. He kind of like slapped them around, and then Brutus and Julius started butting heads. Like, I don't know, they just got locked in. They got locked in after the match. I'm like, wait, and they pretended like they won. I was like, American Made, what are you doing? Y'all just lost to the LWO. What are you doing right now? But hey, American Made still on track. LWO looking great. Miz is all in. He's all in on this Final Testament stuff. He is fully side by side with Karrion Kross, and what a huge mistake by The Miz. The Miz is so cooked, and he doesn't even know. The Wyatt Six were going to let him be. They let him free after they captured him, and The Miz still turned on him last week. Like, bro, what are you doing? And now he's all in with Karrion Kross. Bro, Final Testament, Miz, they're all cooked. Wyatt Six are going to crush them all. Gunther was giving Ludwig Kaiser a little pep talk backstage, basically saying, Ludwig, go do your own thing. Be your own man. Chase championships. Do your own thing, and don't worry about me. I could speak for myself. And then Gunther spots Damian Priest signing signatures on a table, so he's like, you know what? I'm going to go choke him out. But it didn't work out. Damian Priest on the streets, he's a king, bro. So he took out Gunther. He beat him up backstage. Adam Pearce pulls up, and he's like, bro, what the heck just happened? Damian Priest's like, I just laid out your chant, man. What's up? What's up? This is easy. Gunther, definitely a more timid champion than usual ever since losing to Cody Rhodes. It's a very different Gunther. This IC championship match got so spoiled. Sheamus, one-on-one with Braun Breaker. This was like the most hard-hitting match of the night. Insane stuff. I thought Sheamus was closing in on the victory, but it didn't happen because Ludwig Kaiser got involved. Ludwig Kaiser would attack Braun Breaker first, causing a disqualification, so we don't have a winner technically. No title can change hands via disqualification or countout, so Sheamus kind of got screwed here more than Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker just keeps the belt. But anyways, Ludwig attacks Braun. He attacks Sheamus, drilling him into the steel stairs, and then Ludwig celebrates. He's like, I told you I wouldn't leave Sheamus till I have you down. So I would assume this leads to a triple threat match, or it could be Ludwig and Sheamus facing each other to determine who faces Braun. I'm curious to see what they're going to do, but most likely a triple threat. Ludwig using that pep talk as freaking energy, though, man. He gets that pep talk from Gunther earlier in the show, and then he freaking spoils an IC title match looking for an opportunity. Who's the number one contenders for the tag team championships? The Viking Raiders going up against the Judgment Day's Carlito. Keep this in mind. So you had Carlito and Dominic Mysterio. Tag team match was pretty good. Obviously, the Viking Raiders are going to pick up the victory. They're the number one contenders, bro. Wicked clothesline, little springboard from Ivar with Eric holding, I believe, Carlito. They pin him 1, 2, 3. Immediately after the match, we had Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They weren't taking no for an answer. They jump in the ring. They destroy the Viking Raiders, catching them off guard, laying them down with coup de grace, shots to the back of the head from JD JD McDonough and the Judgment Day looked good, even though Dom and Carlito did lose the match for the Judgment Day. So it was kind of an L, but they still laid out the Viking Raiders, so in a way they kind of won. Bo Dallas had this really creepy little interview close-up camera shot of himself. I don't know if he was backstage or off location, but Bo Dallas was being filmed, and man, he basically just said, in a nutshell, you messed up. And he's obviously talking about The Miz. He's talking about Final Testament. They're coming for him, and my God, Uncle Howdy is going to go crazy. And dude, did Bo Dallas not look just like Bray Wyatt in this video? Literally just like him. Hair over his face, just like Bray used to. It was insane. I liked this little segment backstage with the Alpha Academy and the New Day. So we had the Alpha Academy chilling backstage, communicating with Kofi, and then they were kind of congratulating him on his 10-year anniversary with the New Day. Xavier Woods kind of pops in and just brings the negativity to the group, starts talking down the Alpha Academy, and Chad Gable left him, all this bullcrap. Xavier Woods is like, you know what? We're going to challenge you to a match next week. That'll get us back on track for the tag team gold. And Kingston's like, what the heck are you doing, Woods? What are you doing? Dude, I feel like Kingston's going to turn heel now. At first, I thought Woods was going to turn on Kingston. I just have a feeling Kofi Kingston's going to turn heel with Woods. It's going to be heel day all over again. Earlier in the show, the Bloodline, Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay, they tried to recruit Seth again, and he said no. He said no. I can't team with Roman Reigns. Anyways, later in the show, Seth would face Bronson Reed one-on-one. Great matchup. Great matchup. They wouldn't waste any time. New Bloodline got into it with the old Bloodline, or the OG Bloodline, if you will. They brawled it out. They'd fight all the way backstage. You can see the double super kick there. Sami Zayn just attacking a random person, posing that as like Tongalo or something. But absolute chaos to begin this match. And then we get into the match itself. It was amazing. Seth Rollins was closing in on the victory. Seth Rollins had this W if it wasn't for Solo Sikoa jumping on the announce desk, distracting Seth Rollins, allowing for Bronson Reed to hit a tsunami and win the match. I knew Bronson Reed had to pick up this W, man. I knew it, bro. I literally knew it. This was great stuff to end the show, though. I mean, War Games is going to be so good. This episode of Raw was pretty freaking solid. I know it was pre-recorded, but it still had some pretty freaking good stuff to it. I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Favorite match of the night, easily Braun Breaker versus Sheamus, until it got freaking spoiled by Ludwig Kaiser. This match was so good, man. And my favorite moment was easily Solo Sikoa screwing it for Seth. We're going to jump into the Blue Brand now, SmackDown live show, so let's do it. The fifth guy is CM Punk, a Paul Heyman guy. Friday Night SmackDown from Salt Lake City, Utah. What a beautiful city Salt Lake City is. I didn't even realize like the mountain background that they were showing during this episode of SmackDown was just like mind-blowing to me. Anyways, into the show itself, really good episode of SmackDown. We're going to go through it play by play, opening the show with the Temu bloodline, if you will, Solo Sikoa and the rest of his goons, the newest one being Bronson Reed. They basically just threatened Roman Reigns and his OG bloodline, saying, you better surrender by the end of the show, because at this point, at the beginning here, I guess Roman Reigns and the bloodline, they weren't at the arena yet, so Solo Sikoa was just calling him out, saying, you better surrender by the end of the show. I'm like, okay, the bloodline, the OG bloodline is going to do anything but surrender, Solo. If you think they're going to surrender, you're absolutely insane. The Women's United States Championship Tournament continues. Another triple threat match here. Chelsea Green, Blair Davenport, and Bianca Belair. I thought for sure going into this, I'm like, Bianca Belair is going to pick up the victory, but nearing the end of the match, they pop up on the Titantron that Jade Cargill got attacked backstage. She got sent off a loading dock through the windshield of a car. It looked pretty freaking brutal, so that's going to distract Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is going to run backstage, comfort her tag team partner who just got sent through a vehicle. She's going to get loaded up in the ambulance, and I'm like, oh my God, who the crap did that? And then meanwhile, back in the ring, Chelsea Green's going to pick up the victory. She was able to pin Blair Davenport, 1, 2, 3, and Chelsea Green is one step closer to becoming the first ever Women's United States Champion. I think that's awesome. Good for Chelsea Green. But man, the biggest question is, who attacked Jade Cargill? At first I was like, oh, it could have been Bianca, but then I'm like, no, Bianca was wrestling. Bianca was literally wrestling. It couldn't have been Bianca Belair. This is a big question of mine. Maybe Nia Jax, maybe somebody from the War Games team. I don't know. I'm very curious though. This has my interest. LA Knight had a United States Championship title defense up against Santos Escobar. I feel like he's defended up against Santos multiple times, so this is going to be an easy dub for LA Knight, even with Shinsuke Nakamura distractions. There was a Shinsuke Nakamura distraction video pre-match, and then post-match, Nakamura would try to distract LA Knight again, but it wouldn't work. LA Knight hit the BFT, retained the title, we all know. And then Shinsuke Nakamura, literally, not even 2 seconds after an LA Knight pinned Santos, Nakamura would attack him again. Very similar fashion to last week, but definitely more brutal this week. Definitely taking on more of a hard-hitting style here for this heel Nakamura. Like, he does not not care about anybody's well-being. He's going out there and he's taking advantage of LA Knight's insecurities, I guess. He said he's going to take his title, and he said LA Knight is worried, man. It's very interesting approach they're taking with this new Nakamura character. But I'm all for it. I think it's pretty cool. Easily best promo of the night. Oh my God. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, they were set to go face-to-face. Nick Aldis had said, hey, Cody, I haven't seen Kevin. I don't know if he's here tonight. Cody's like, well, I'll be in the ring. If he doesn't show up, he'd show up, but he showed up in the crowd. He didn't want to stand close to Cody Rhodes, as he should be afraid, man, because he almost killed Randy Orton. I loved this segment. Kevin Owens called out Cody Rhodes for all this being his fault, the Randy Orton injury, because basically Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens still cannot get the fact out of his head that Cody Rhodes teamed with the man that he was fighting with for 4 years. But then Cody responded by saying, Kevin, your biggest enemy is yourself. I was like, that is the strongest quote all night, because that is Kevin's biggest enemy. Right when he looks like he's going to pull the trigger and become a big champion, he fails. Cody Rhodes was intense in this segment. They didn't get physical at all. They did not get physical. It was just a great freaking promo. I loved this so much. I can't wait for their match, wherever it's going to be. Saturday Night Main Event, War Games, I don't care. I just hope we get it, and it's going to be a banger. But the one thing that I want Kevin Owens to mention, because obviously he's mad at Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman Reigns, right? He should be mad at Sami Zayn, because Cody Rhodes only teamed with Roman Reigns for one night. Sami Zayn jumped the ship and fully rejoined the bloodline. If Kevin should be mad at anybody, he should be mad at Sami Zayn most. I can't believe he didn't even mention one word of Sami Zayn. That blew my mind. And then after the segment backstage, Cody Rhodes will get into it with Carmelo Hayes, setting up for a match next week. I'm excited for that. This tag team match would end in a huge disqualification. Well, first it was Bayley Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae. It would end in a DQ after Nia Jax came out, and then multiple members of War Games came out, including Rhea Ripley, probably being the highlight. She was wearing a black mask this time, so I upgraded it there. So she's got the black mask from the Sheamus Elite, not the Cody Rhodes mask. She came out with a kendo stick and defended all of her teammates. She defended Io, Bayley. It was odd. It was odd seeing Rhea, fully out here friendly with all these different superstars that I swear she's beat the snot out of in the past, like menacingly in the Judgment Day. So that was pretty cool seeing Rhea, a change of heart here in this War Games team. Pretty cool. Tommaso Ciampa is a whole heel, dude. I swear. He fought Montez Ford one-on-one. This match was actually really decent. Montez Ford skated by with the victory, man. He rolled up Ciampa, 1, 2, 3. Immediately after the match, Tommaso Ciampa attacks. He's like, nah, I'm not having this. Here comes Dawkins trying to, even things up, and then Gargano came out. It was a whole situation there where Gargano got pushed down again, and then here comes MCMG trying to, settle things straight, and it's just like the big controversy with Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa is literally going to have no friends if he keeps just pushing down Gargano, his closest guy, or unless Gargano turns heel and joins Ciampa. I don't know what's going to go down with this. I'm very curious. Maybe it leads to a triple threat tag team match with MCMG, Street Profits, and DIY, and heel DIY, if you will. I'm down for it, but I'm curious to see where it's going to go. In our main event, or our main promo event, if you will, we had T-Move Bloodline versus OG Bloodline. They were meeting face-to-face. Roman Reigns' plans, he said, I don't have a plan, because he doesn't have a wise man. He has no plan, because he has no wise man. Psych! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. First, we saw the return of Paul Heyman. He comes out on stage. Everybody was so happy to hear his voice. We haven't seen him since he got put through the announce table in Madison Square Garden when the T-Move Bloodline took him out. And Paul Heyman said, I have a fifth guy. I thought he was going to bust out Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be Brock, but no. He busted out a classic Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk. CM Punk is joining Roman Reigns for what appears to be one night only in War Games as the fifth member to take on this new bloodline. I can't wait. Obviously, the show is going to end in an all-out brawl. I loved the GTS and Spear combination. The suicide dives, tope suicidas over the top rope were so awesome from Sami Uso and the rest of the Usos. It was great. A great brawl to end the show. And, dude, at War Games, it can't get better than this. It can't get better than this. I'm surprised it's not Seth Rollins. I'll be honest with you. But, hey, I'm so happy CM Punk is back. Now just bring back Drew McIntyre on Raw, please. We all miss Drew. Favorite match of the night was probably Tommaso Ciampa versus Montez Ford. If I'm rating this show out of 10, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really solid freaking episode of SmackDown, bro. CM Punk is going to be fighting in War Games, coming straight out of Hell in a Cell, jumping right into War Games. It's going to be crazy, man. R.I.P. CM Punk's body. Please be careful, Phil Brooks. That was SmackDown. That was Raw. WWE Action Figure Setup Style. Let me know your rankings down in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time. Brett out.